Hello and welcome to Pint Glass Gaming. As always, I'm Gary. Today we're going to be talking about a game that's been in the headlines for all the wrong reasons, Cyberpunk 2077.
Cyberpunk 2077 is the latest game from CD Projekt Red, the studio that brought you the award-winning Witcher series. The game was released for PC, Xbox, and PlayStation 4 consoles on December 10th, 2020. The game received generally positive reviews for its PC iteration, but since I'm not part of the PC master race, I can't comment on that. From day one, Cyberpunk 2077's console iterations were blasted by players and critics alike. Complaints included issues with graphics and textures, as well as game-breaking bugs and system crashes. Several patches have been released, and if you were to install the game today in February 2021, you would need to complete an update of over 40 gigabytes. That should fix the game, right? Well, let's take a look. Considering all of the backlash involved in the last-gen consoles, I decided to try the game first on my Xbox One X. On this platform, I experienced hiccups, crashes, and really long load times. The clip you're watching isn't being paused. The game will often freeze for several seconds when driving. On top of that, the game is sluggish when doing something as simple as turning your character. Like in this clip. You can see how the movement blur effect ends slightly after I stop turning, and everything seems to snap into place.
The Xbox Series X is really the only choice you have if you want to have a good experience playing this game on a Microsoft console. That being said, however, it is by no means perfect.
In fact, here are some of the more entertaining glitches I ran into on my playthrough.
Save your strength, Jackie.
What do you think I'm doing? But, Sylvie, we'll get out alive.
In terms of graphics, Cyberpunk 2077 is a joy to the eyes when it displays as it's intended to. The overcrowded metropolis Night City is where you'll spend most of your time in-game. The lights are bright and the buildings are pressed together, giving players a sense of claustrophobic urban decay. Pretty much every single person on the street looks worse for wear, even the kids. The characters are well detailed, and just wait until you see the gruesome body modifications that some characters are sporting. Like this guy. Ew. In my opinion, the coolest graphical effects can be found in the Badlands, a desert locale surrounding the big city. The sparse plant life, tumbleweed, and yes, even the trash heaps are extremely detailed. Yet again, I'm the type of weirdo that'll sit for several minutes admiring a weed in a video game. That's a nice weed. The lighting as the sun sets is pretty breathtaking, if you stop to look around between gunfights. Besides, it's hard for me to complain about graphics when the games I used to play looked like this. Like other RPGs, you can craft weapons and ammunition, and dialogue trees determine your character's fate. There are romance options for any sort of character, but you'll have to figure those out on your own. Hey, we keep things PG on this stream. Speaking of PG, this game certainly earns that M rating. For the first time in my life, I was tasked with designing my character's genitalia. I still don't know why, though. The gameplay in Cyberpunk is similar to other first-person RPGs. If I could describe where it fits into the genre, I would say it's a faster-paced version of Fallout. I played the game as a gunslinging hacker. Donning pistols and cyber hacks was, for lack of a better term, awesome. Hacking allows a person to target the body modifications of enemy players to some brutal effect. One hack sets people on fire. Another passes a contagion to each enemy within close proximity of your target. And the most messed up one of all makes every enemy nearby, well, do this.
I've spent over 100 hours in the Cyberpunk main campaign. I've done most of the side quests, and really, all that's left for me to do is to waltz on up to the final mission. There's only one problem. Every single time I try and complete the remaining missions, my system crashes. I get a black screen, and I inevitably have to restart the console. Now, the story in Cyberpunk is engaging. The characters are relatable, and I really want to know more about them. I'd love to find out what happens. The graphics are great, but in spite of all of these things, I can't recommend it because it just plain doesn't work. Now, I know that most major retailers have already discounted the game, and I'm also aware that within the next 6 to 8 months, most of these problems will probably be patched out. But either way, if you're going to buy the game as it stands today, you're rolling the dice, and it's not something that I recommend you gamble on at this point.
That does it for this episode of Pint Glass Gaming. As always, thank you for spending some time with us. If you liked what you saw, please give us a like and subscribe. Or, if you're into travel and quality hooch, why not check out our other series, Pint Glass Travels.